Indie animation kinda sucks. Every so often you get something really cool that pushes the boundaries of what can be done on the platform, but most of the time the attention goes to things like this.
This is dumb and weird.
Now there was a time when I kinda liked Hazbin Hotel. I thought the concept was novel, I liked the animation, and I liked that it encouraged other animators to create their own shows. But there's one problem. I don't like Vivian Medrano. She makes bad shows, she's annoying, and worst of all, she can't handle criticism. Something we've all become very aware of through the release of Hell of a Boss. Between the release of the Hazbin pilot and now, she's made almost 2 seasons of this show, and it's proven to be one of the worst shows ever made. The writing sucks, the characters are super shallow, and it's also violently unfunny. With every episode, people's patience were thin, and eventually they snapped, making VivziePop furious. If you thought the show felt like fanfiction, then you're homophobic. If you thought the female characters were shallow, well that was done on purpose because the show was supposed to focus on the male ones, unlike Hazbin. She also got mad at a person who made a meme making fun of the excessive swearing and said that the swearing was because she likes South Park. So clearly we're just not smart enough to understand these jokes.
And he's got the biggest cock, you know? Like massive. I mean, imagine like the biggest, just a giant, huge, like a kaiju, but it's a cock, you know what I mean? Like a big...
But now we have arrived at Hazbin Hotel, her magnum opus. So was VivziePop able to improve her writing? I think this show might have some of the most confused world building I've ever seen. It's something that appears to make sense on the surface, but then you start asking basic questions about it, and it all unravels so fast. Charlie's the princess of hell, and she's trying to find a way to redeem the demons so that they can enter heaven, because every year angels from heaven descend and kill a bunch of them in order to reduce the population to prevent an uprising. But this doesn't make sense. The angels want bad people to stay in hell forever, but they're also killing some because they're afraid of overpopulation? Why not just kill all the demons? Just drop some holy nukes and be done with it. Why do it in an incredibly inefficient way? It almost feels like they're doing it in an unnecessarily cruel way so that Charlie can call them cruel. But Charlie isn't a good moral compass for this show. Her ideology that everyone deserves a shot at redemption is something that sounds altruistic, but is really simple. Like, what if Valentino showed up at the hotel and asked for redemption? Should Charlie allow him in? Hell no, he's a freaky weirdo. But if she refuses him, then wouldn't that prove her wrong? She's just not a good judge of character, and it's annoying that the show is unanimously on her side. Every character that disagrees with her is a one-dimensional strawman that you're supposed to hate. Like, look at Adam, this guy's supposed to be an angel, but instead of a wise celestial being of good and reason, he's just every sexist stereotype of men that we've seen a million times.
I'm fucking Adam. I'm the original dick. All dicks descend from me.
You guys know I'm always gonna root for the bad guy because I want their defeat to be earned, but this one feels particularly unfair. The angels are supposed to be all good, so having one that talks about how much sex he has is very confusing. But also, calling him bad because he wants to kill demons doesn't sound right. It's very annoying that every time they show hell, it has the worst people ever, but whenever they show the extermination, it's suddenly these poor innocent children running around. Like, why are there innocent children in hell? It's weird that the show underplays how evil some of these people are by just saying that nobody's perfect.
She's flawed, but hey, who down here isn't?
You eat people! The thing you're supposed to disagree with is how Adam declares sinners and saints as black and white, but then the show creates these absurdly black and white villains you're supposed to hate. So why am I supposed to disagree with him? Just because you made him say cringe?
Call me Dickmaster.
And in terms of funny, we have no funny. The sex jokes and swearing are so bad, but the show thinks it's really cool, which makes a lot of the jokes really uncomfortable.
I've been a bad boy, and I need a big, strong daddy to put me in my place.
You come.
Oh, yes. Baby cakes. Rawr.
Whoops.
Husk, come on.
Why are you blaming Husk? The thing is, this show is also trying to talk about very serious issues like assault, so seeing jokes like this in between scenes that are supposed to be serious creates some of the craziest tonal whiplash. One moment you're watching goofy Looney Tunes antics, the next moment you're watching somebody get beat within an inch of their life. Angel Dust is supposed to be proof that redemption is possible in hell, but the problem is that he sucks, yet the show wants you to feel sorry for him? I understand that you're supposed to see how awful his life is, but he's in hell. He's kind of guilty of every bad thing that's happened to him. His subplot with Valentino is something that's supposed to be taken seriously, but it's so over the top and ridiculous that it felt straight out of 13 Reasons Why. Like, no, it doesn't matter how terrible Angel Dust's life is. It doesn't mean that he can treat others like trash.
Husk,
What did you do?
Stop blaming Husk. As someone that's experienced this kind of thing, it really annoys me to see everyone chastising Husk for defending himself. Honestly, Husk is probably the best character in the show because he's willing to put up with Angel. He actually tries to empathize with him on a deeper level and manages to give Angel a decent arc during Loser Baby, which is more than I can say for everyone else. It's really weird because Serpentious is in the same position as Angel does and shows arguably more development towards redemption, but everyone just treats him like a joke. What's even the point of having him on if he's only gonna be the comic relief? Then there's also this joke.
So I was thinking maybe you would want to, do a sex with me.
I'm sorry, why would we have sex?
Because I'm having sex with everyone here.
Alistair is mid. He's a character that purely exists to fuel the Tumblr fandoms and get the theory channels working, but he also doesn't really do anything. He just stands in the background and tries to act scary. But his fear factor is kinda weak because he's constantly getting into petty arguments about getting name called, and also he's kinda weak.
I'm about to end your fucking life.
So Alistair is walking down the street because he got told to get rid of these eggs, but then he runs into this tall, handsome black guy who's pretending to speak Old English for some reason.
Tell me, how dost thou fall in such folly?
But then they suddenly walk into this building with other people, and it turns out that it's a meeting between the big baddies of hell. Was that where he was walking? I thought he was getting rid of the eggs. So he tells the eggs to stay outside, but fails to notice the one standing right next to him. But this is actually fine, because he wants to use it to spy on this guy, who happens to be saying something important. And throughout the entire scene, none of these powerful overlords notice the egg. This is all so that Alistair can get a crucial piece of information, and it's pure nonsense. But that's kind of what Alistair is. He just does cryptic things to make you think that he's actually doing something. But as it stands, it just feels like he's saying, "Ooh, I'm gonna do something eventually, keep watching the show." But I know there's no light at the end of that tunnel. I know he only exists to add more tangential characters to the show, and then those characters add more tangential characters, and now we have a huge roster and we haven't even finished developing the main guys. By the end of this season, we barely know anything about these people. Most of the character development in this show is rushed through, and it skips to the scene where the characters are laughing about it in a circle. Charlie's got problems talking to her dad? Nah, don't worry, they sing a song about it and it's all fine now.
People can get to know each other.
This show wants to portray Lucifer as a good guy, even though everything in this show is his fault. He clearly has a lot of power, so why isn't he fixing hell? Hell in this show isn't really hell, it's just another place. If he really loves humanity so much, then why is he so apathetic towards everyone?
Sinners are violent psychopaths, hell-bent on causing as much pain and destruction as they can. Right.
Dad, stop! He's defending this hotel. How come he can have faith in me, but my own father can't?
Wait, what? No, he doesn't. What's wrong with you?
So, does this mean that you think it's possible to rehabilitate a demon?
Of course not! That's wacky nonsense!
So Charlie goes to heaven and wants to talk to the Chief Seraphim about redemption, and they hold a trial. She asks Adam to explain what it takes to get to heaven, and he gets a piece of paper and writes, "Act selfless, don't steal, and stick it to the man." So you're telling me that Adam the angel doesn't know what gets you to heaven? You know, for a show about morality, this show is really afraid to talk about what it means to be a good or a bad person. So Sarah asks for proof that a demon can be redeemed, and Charlie tells her to look at angel dust. While this is happening, Angel is at a party with a gang and sees that Nifty is taking random things and running towards Valentino, who also happens to be there. Then Angel grabs Nifty, protects her from Valentino, and tells him to stay away from them. And because of this, Charlie says that Angel acted selfless, prevented Nifty from stealing, and stuck it to the man. This makes this child say, "She's right, why isn't he in heaven?" I'm sorry, what? If I kill my parents and then prevent somebody from getting sold to slavery, does that mean that I get to go free? Why is there a child in this court? But then they ask again, what does it take to get into heaven? And it's revealed that the angels don't know. And you know what? No, you can't do this to me. They're angels. They made everything. Every system that has ever existed was created by them. So why do they not know the basic principle of what's right and wrong? This breaks everything in the show. All of the world building and conflict that has been built up so far has been because of the rules the angels made. And now you're telling me that they don't know their own rules? This should have been the end of Charlie's argument. The angels should be able to explain the reasons and logic to why they won't help her. But Vipsipop isn't letting them. Because if the angels were smart, then Charlie can't sing a song about how evil they are. And how you gotta do better, Seraphim.
If hell is forever, then heaven must be a lie.
What is this sentence? This doesn't mean anything. This is the kind of thing somebody posts on Twitter, but it's the main thesis of this show. And of course Sarah just stands there and takes it. Can't have her defending herself, otherwise she might be right. We gotta make her look super evil. So let's put some fire in her eyes. Oh my god, when the child hears that the angels are killing people, her eyes open. That symbolizes that her eyes have been opened.
How can I bring joy when I now know we are bringing misery to thousands of innocent people? Innocent people, innocent people, innocent people, innocent people, innocent people, innocent people, innocent people.
Media needs to stop saying that children make better decisions than their parents. It's not pure-hearted to believe Charlie's stupid ideas. And I hate that people see this as genuine theological arguments. People actually think that this points out the hypocrisy in Christianity. Like, do you really think that this is an accurate depiction of Christian afterlife? Well, I don't blame you, because this show acts like it is. Like, if I asked you if God exists in this show, you'd probably assume no, but then why are there crosses thrown everywhere? Seeing people quoting this show with these lines is so embarrassing. Anyways, it's revealed that Baggy turns out to be an angel, which would have been very obvious to anyone who noticed her skin tone, hair color, and the fact that she has an angelic spear.
You have a giant X over your eye and wield an angelic spear.
No, she has an X because they stabbed her eye out. Now the team is breaking down, meaning that Alistair can finally matter. And by matter, I mean that one of the Tangento characters can finally matter, because this character happens to know that the angels can be killed with their own spears, which is not only super lame, but incredibly stupid. Why are the angels using angel killing weapons to kill demons? You can use normal things.
How has no one else figured this out?
Nuh-uh, you don't get to say that. Wait, you didn't know?
You didn't know.
The angels don't know?
Yes, they do. They said it in episode 1.
The only reason you're still here is because Daddy gave you and your hellborn kind a pardon from an exorcist blade.
The angels know about this, yet they leap behind their spears after every extermination?
They didn't even take Baggy's spear.
Angels wield no shields, little armor, and fight with reckless abandon.
Stop saying these things like it makes sense. I also thought that this was gonna finally give Baggy some character development, but no, she gets separated from the group throughout the entire episode, and when she joins back, everything's back to normal. What is that voice? It sounds so... Now it's time for this show's absolutely insane finale, and this is where Adam becomes too stupid to be threatening. The angels are now video game enemies. The second he sees angels getting killed, he should be getting out of there. Just retreat and ask for better weapons. But then Adam seems to have crazy light powers that only he can use for some reason, and they make it so that he can do this, so everything in this fight is pointless.
Adam should have no problem killing everybody, even Lucifer.
You judging me?
Kill him! There's no drama between the characters because they've barely had any scenes. And there's no tension because we know that none of Vipsy-Pop's favorite characters are going to die. Well, except for Serpentious, but no one's ever really gone. The only character that I knew was going to die was Adam, because he's purposely written to be the most black and white, unlikable character ever. He represents everything the showrunners hate, so of course he was gonna have no nuance to his personality. He was bad, that means it's okay for him to die.
I started everything on Earth! All of mankind came from these fucking nuts!
Kill them!
Vipsy-Pop cannot keep getting away with creating these evil people to make her bad characters look good. This show is so morally bankrupt that it needs to remind you who the good guys and the bad guys are. And if you go against Vipsy-Pop's rules, then you better believe you're gonna die. Not just that, your death will be a joke, and cannibals will eat your body.
No! Sir! Sir! Stay with me, sir! Adam! It's over.
Take your little friends and go home!
Sorry, Adam. Should have been in a better show. Anyway, Serpentious goes to heaven because apparently he was redeemed, and this is supposed to vindicate Charlie, but it actually vindicates Adam, because that means that all of those thousands of innocent people that he killed are actually in heaven, and everyone else should be reborn in hell, I guess. So that's why Sarah was doing this. It all makes sense now. She was secretly giving hell a chance to be redeemed, and has been receiving those thousands of innocent people all this time. I'm glad the show was able to explain explain it in the end. And I'm sure it won't be revealed in the next season that this has never happened before and that Sarah never knew that this was happening. And given the massacre that happened, the Angels are probably planning a counterattack with their holy nukes in order to destroy the hotel. It's a happy ending.
It really blows my mind that people were actually excited for this show. It's such a broken premise with so many inconsistencies that it always frustrates me when I see the never-ending praise that it has. Almost no one ever criticizes this show fairly, either because they work with VipsyPop or because they feel obligated to like this show. But the whole point of independent animated shows is that we're tired of the same narcissistic, out-of-touch writers making these boring, vacuous shows. We're tired of people with no creativity who can't write anything outside of their own lives. But here, we have a show where hell is basically LA, the angels act like children, and they can be killed with magic spears. I hope that as time goes on that people are able to recognize the problems with this show, because I really want indie animation to succeed. But if we keep supporting shows like this, pretending like they're any good,
then when are we ever gonna get a show that's actually good?
That's all I got for this video. Goodbye!